morning everybody, Car and Biker here. Just heading into the office on this glorious day. Keep seeing people making comments on videos, and I think I've even talked about it myself in the past. But I've seen a few people put comments on about should car drivers, or saying that car drivers should have to have a go on a motorbike just to show them what it's like. And as I've said in the past, I kind of like that idea. It's not for everybody. You know, some people aren't able to ride a motorbike. They're not physically capable, and saying that they can't drive a car because they've never ridden a motorbike would be silly. I kind of like the idea. I like the idea of spreading that awareness. I guess it's like inoculations against viruses. I think I like it from that point of view for the ones that can't. You know, you need a critical mass with an inoculation. You don't need everybody to be immune to a virus. You just need enough. You just need a highish percentage, and once you've got that highest percentage, some people will still get said virus, but it won't be able to spread in the same way. It's just maths. And maybe it's like that, you know, it'd be like that with people going on bikes when they're car drivers. Maybe there'd be enough that people would start taking more care around bikers, and maybe that would lead to other people who couldn't ride a bike looking at them and going, well, I see what he's doing there. And maybe you get that critical mass. Or maybe it just make everybody's guards go down. Everybody just think, on a bike this is, everybody just think, well, now that everyone's been on a bike pretty much, they're all driving really well. And then there'll be the odd one who hasn't, who drives like a lunatic, and you wouldn't be expecting it. All wishful thinking, of course, and all complete rubbish. However, I've gone on a bit there. That wasn't actually the point of my video. I wanted to turn it on its head. There are, of course, in this country, people who ride a motorbike or a moped who've never driven a car. And the reason that I thought of this idea was mainly because I've seen a few videos of people like that who have no idea what it's like to drive a car and the limitations of the car, and you see them in videos being cut up, being cut off, not being cut. just something happens. Car driver does something that they see as an attack on their personal space, and they go mad. But actually, if they'd have driven a car enough, they'd have understood why it happened. So I thought, you know, maybe that's the idea. Maybe we should force everybody who rides a motorbike, as well as just forcing everybody in a car to have a go on a bike, force everybody who rides a motorbike to have a go in a car on busy town streets and on motorways and things like that, with an instructor, of course. Because there are certain things. I'll give you a couple of examples. I'm coming down here now, and I've got a loud exhaust. So this guy probably can hear me coming. Probably, because he's got his window open. This one, can he hear me coming? A lot of people think loud exhaust, you know, this loud pipe saves lives thing. Keep an eye on this one because he's going to avoid the potholes, I reckon. This loud pipe saves lives thing means that everybody can hear them coming, and there's no way you could be missed. I mean, that one started pulling across a little bit because there was a car that he was going to try and tuck in behind, turning right. He had his window open, but he still didn't necessarily hear me coming or register. But yeah, loud pipe saves lives. I've heard that argument, and that isn't why I've got a loud pipe. I've got a loud pipe because the one that came on the bike looked rubbish and sounded rubbish, and I like the way this sounds. It's nothing to do with safety, I just like it. And although some of these people can hear me or see me coming, like I said, you can see them moving out the way a little bit, some of these cars are now so soundproofed that they won't be able to. My exhaust points backwards. It's a deafening exhaust if you stood right behind it. But I'm sat on the bike now and it's not in the least bit deafening. It's louder than my old one. But Don't do this, kids. But most of them are that soundproof, they won't hear me coming. Some cars nowadays have got triple glazing. They're quieter than your house because they know they're going onto roads where potentially it's going to be loud. And they try and kind of lock you away from everything, don't they? They don't want you being upset by the environment around you. They do things to take away the smells. Oh dear. They do things to take away the sounds. Some of them do things to take away the visibility as well. Not necessarily on purpose, but I remember having a test drive, but the rear window on it was so small that you could barely see out, and the position of the rear view mirror that pointed out the rear window was wrong. Maybe I could have moved it if I'd have bought the car, but I didn't like the car. But it was wrong to the point where it had to point quite a long way down to look out of that rear window, so you couldn't really see much behind you at all. So that's kind of the second example, isn't it? You know, people don't necessarily have good visibility just because they've got windows. And then you've got the problem of blind spots. And I do wonder if some people, get out of there, if some people who ride bikes don't understand just how big the blind spot can be in a car. I mean, the blind spot on a bike is huge. You can get an articulated lorry in it at the right angle and still not be able to see the thing. But in a car it can be equally big or bigger. So you can get to a situation where you put yourself in a blind spot and you sit there with or without a loud exhaust that they can't hear for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and you're completely invisible. And yes, the driver, if he's going to pull out, should look over his shoulder, and it's wrong that they don't. But who hasn't been in that situation where your awareness, you're working on your awareness rather than looking? Maybe you're a bit tired, got a bit lazy, something like that, so rather than actually taking that look over your shoulder, you've got into that thing of, well, there's nothing here, there's clearly nothing here, it's not been anything here for 45 seconds. Yes, it's wrong. I'll never argue it's right, but you're so cosseted in these modern cars. You're basically in a living room on wheels, so it's really easy to get into that position. So, I don't know, what do you think? Should these people who've only ever ridden bikes, never driven a car, be forced to have a go in it? Should we turn that rule on its head that people come up with? Let me know what you think in them there comments, or in a response video. There's not nearly enough of them anymore. Either way, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Ride safe, everybody, and I'll talk to you all again soon.